Praise be Jesus and Mary. In today's gospel passage, our Lord gives us a parable of the talents. This is a part of his eschatological discourse in chapter 25 of St. Matthew's Gospel, all treating of the last things, basically how we are to live in this life and what we need to render an account for when we meet our Lord, after this life ends. We had, as we heard in this parable, the talents were given to three servants, from the master who went on a long journey, and before doing so gave them his possessions and these talents in order that they might yield or bear good fruit, to earn more profit for the master. And as we heard, the first and second servants received those talents, 5 and then 2, and made them bear good fruit, doubling the amount. And our Lord, on his return, the master on his return, had congratulated the servants, the first 2, for being faithful, and prudent, and making those talents bear fruit. Whereas the third servant, who received just 1 talent, buried that talent in the ground, where it just sat there and did nothing, earned nothing, and gave it back to the master on his return, and with that was severely scolded, precisely because he was expected to make it bear fruit and it didn't. This particular servant, the third one, receiving the 1 talent and making it, not earn any more profit, sinned by way of omission. He omitted doing what he should have done. And so this is an important lesson for us, in the spiritual life, the Christian life, the moral life. It's not enough that we avoid doing evil, but we also have to do the good, positively speaking. That is, to make the talents, the gifts that God has given to us, bear fruit, for his kingdom, for our own growth and holiness, to glorify God and to bring souls to Christ. All of us have received talents, various abilities from our Lord, some 5, others 2, to others 1. But all of them are large gifts, you could say, because the talents in today's gospel passage were large gifts, in fact, large portions of money. Each talent was worth about 100 pounds of silver, or 6,000 day wages, every single talent. So even the 1 talent given was a lot. So all of us have received a lot from our Lord, and he expects in return, some yield, some fruit produced from that. Basically we can go through life with 2 different attitudes. For the first one is to think that we're absolute owners of the talents, the good things we have received in life, as if we could do whatever we want with them. We're absolute masters of them. And that's the wrong way to think about it. Whereas the second way to live life is that of being stewards, considering ourselves stewards, caretakers of the gifts that we have, the talents that we have received from God, because they all belong to God ultimately and absolutely speaking. So this is the way we should live our lives as Christians, as stewards of the gifts received from God. And the best way to make these gifts bear the most fruit, is by giving them to Our Lady, that she might help us, to bear as much fruit as we can, for our Lord, and to do as much good as we can. So whatever little we have, the talents we have, let us give them to her, and she will embellish them and make them all the more pleasing, to our Lord. Praise be Jesus and Mary.
Miserere Jesus.